Hey, what is up? What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Melancholy podcast, the first episode. I am your host, Dan, and today we have my co-host, Carl.
Thank you, my good man.
Hell
How you
yeah.
say, guys? Welcome to the Melancholy podcast. It's our first of what I hope to be many.
Yes, very many.
Along the what's the word again? Track? No.
The road.
You know what? We're already completely fucking.
We're already
fucking
yeah, that's
butchering
it.
completely.
That's it. It's gone.
All right, months of planning down the drain.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Our roadmap. There you go. That's the one. I was looking
There you go.
for. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so today's podcast, the topics are Apple.
Not
There-
the enjoyable fruit.
No.
The conglomerate.
Yes, Apple have had a spot of inspiration recently, if you could say that.
Self-proclaimed inspiration.
Yes, self-claimed inspiration. We're also going to talk about E3. We're going to talk about the new Pokemon. Hype.
Oh yeah, and anything that's come out in the last, I'd say, week or two, maybe a few things before that. It's very much a nice hodgepodge of pretty much everything, I guess you'd say. Uh-huh.
And next on the list, we also have the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which we're still a bit on the fence about, but we'll get into that in a bit. We're also going to talk about the new Ryzen CPUs and the one they just announced. Was it today they announced it, or was it yesterday they announced it?
It was Sunday. It was
on
Sunday night.
Sunday.
They revealed it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that. And
Oh, yeah.
then, near the end, we've got some security breach from quite a big company that we're going to talk about as well. So we shall
Yeah, we'll
have
get
a
to it
little
when we
bit.
get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to that
Oh,
when
yeah.
we get there. Right, so let's kick it off with Apple. So what's going on with Apple? I haven't seen too much.
Okay. So you don't know too much about the Apple stuff, do you?
No, I saw their
Okay.
advert and I saw a bunch of people taking pictures of this, just like almost like a shrine with the Apple logo on it.
Okay, yeah. So it wasn't last week. It was like almost 2 weeks ago now. They held a press conference and they announced the new Mac Pro. So if you remember the last Mac Pro, it was like the one that looked like a trash can.
Oh yeah, the
little
bins,
circle one.
yeah.
It's the sequel to that one.
Okay.
And what they've done is they've made it the design at the front like it's completely made full of circles for airflow.
Oh, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Get out of the way first. It looks like a fucking cheese grater, and that's the big
Yeah.
fucking meme, which is
Oh,
great.
I actually saw it. I think on Reddit.
Yeah, and they announced this screen to go with it, the Display XFR. I probably butchered that. I'm not too sure, but the screen itself is like £5,000.
What? 5,000?
Yeah,
And the stand is an extra
and
1,000.
the stand is an extra grand.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I love that when they were doing the presentation, the guy was like, "Oh yeah, £5,000 TV or no, £5,000 monitor.
Yeah.
You can get the Visa mount for 200, and then the monitor stand for 999. Okay, Tim Cook, come on, buddy."
And he just swiftly moved it on.
He whipped it out of there, dude. He fucking Mario'd it off the screen. He's like, gotta go run. But yeah, Reddit's just been full of memes about it as well.
Well, of course, well it would be.
Even other companies are just like, they're taking their advantage. They're like lining up their shots. It's free shooting.
Yeah, totally. I have a little bone with Apple to pick. A bone to pick, should I say? It's very. They were the first company to put out this. They put out the iPhone X, and everyone, the usual Apple like advertisements and whatever else, and then they hyped it up a bunch, and then they released how much it was going to be, and it's £1,000. And a stand for £1,000 is something else, but a phone for £1,000, you can understand why it would maybe be a bit more reasonable to ask that, but
a lot more technology goes into a phone than a fucking piece of metal
yes,
that holds up a device.
it does.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
But it's a phone that costs £1,000, and like most people's PCs run around that price, and
yeah, or less. You can buy a full custom PC for less than a metal stand.
Yeah, it's great. Look,
That's
you
the world
could
we live in
you could go out and get the new Xbox One and a PS4 for less. Do you know what I mean?
TV,
And,
whatever you've got left.
Yeah.
To play.
And it's a phone, but I feel over the years they've just it's pretty obvious that they've stopped trying really. Like
they're seeing what they can do at this point.
yeah,
the last few
they're
years.
just
definitely just testing the water.
Yeah, they're definitely
And he's
testing.
like,
Yeah,
They just keep biting. I don't know what to do.
I think
I don't blame them. It's a a way of doing it. And
I mean, they have the market.
Until they stop making money, they're not going to stop.
No, they won't. They're just gonna.
Yeah.
They'll keep trying to put out things, and it will be. They'll just say it's innovation, but they'll put out things that are just random and weird, and things that are kind of just basically useless, but then put this massive price tag on them. And I understand if it had function, why it would cost that much. But I guess the same argument could be with some designer T-shirts and clothing brands and whatever else. Like you could.
Apple are now more like a brand themselves. Like you pay for the name.
Like you could go to a shop and get a pair of shoes for around £100 or less, easily, that are comfy and do what they need to do. On the high end of that, though, you could go into Gucci or Louis Vuitton or
we can't kill ourselves. Apple isn't the only company to do this.
Or like Off-White, and you could just spend thousands on just a pair of shoes, or you know what I mean, or a T-shirt. So it is you do pay for the name.
There'll always be an audience, big or small.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I give them props. They used to be very good. I used to like when they had the iPod Classic, I had that.
I'd say anything post iPhone 4, they've kind of just been like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do.
I was going to get the iPhone 4 when it came out as well, and then I saw some of the reviews.
With Siri and everything. They were the first ones to do it.
Yeah, and people weren't too sure about it, and then some people were really ecstatic about it, and I was just a bit like, well, I've seen some mixes, but I'm just going to go for something that I know is kind of solid.
I prefer my BlackBerry.
Yeah,
at the
time. At the time.
We're getting ourselves now with our ages.
I had an LG, I think.
In the background, in their little tappy keyboards on their BlackBerries. Oh, that's what we heard in downtown. But in all fairness, though, the target audience for these things aren't actually, the regular Apple fan base. These are appealing to like content creators and like really professional studios. Like you've seen those color corrected monitors that cost like £60,000 or £50,000.
Yeah.
And they're like sRGB, REC, all the color spectrums. They basically hold 100% of it. And these are the ones needed for like 8K rendering and like zooming in, making pictures stuff.
Yeah, for like.
So this isn't something Jessica, the thumbnail making Fiverr employee, is going to be buying for herself. This is like the person that colors Iron Man's helmet in the next Marvel film will be using.
That's very true. I mean,
so for the price, it's actually really good for that level. But again, it's not out yet, so we don't know how good it is in comparison. Yeah. But that's the bar they're setting, which is nice. I mean, they're not going to say, "Hey, Apple fans, go and buy this £20,000+ combo."
No, that's very true.
They're trying to take away from other business
like high-end companies.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess that they're doing that in a sense where the iPhone is dropping in revenue now for them. I would say, I think, wasn't it the iPhone X is like it sold 50% less than expected or something?
I believe it did. Yeah.
It's like, ooh, that's looking pretty bad. Well, I think it's because phones are on the rise now. I mean, you look at OnePlus and Honor and everything like that. It's not hard to get a good quality phone nowadays.
Razer have even got a phone out now, and
there's just so much variety now, which is nice. The problem is that all phones are the exact same. They're all just rectangles.
Yep.
That just get taller. It's like
they all get taller and
phone, not an iPad.
They do indeed. But in conclusion to this section, I think, regardless of how expensive the monitor is, the stand should not be £1,000.
Christ no! That's the meme. That's the greatest meme ever.
I could see a few hundred, because say if it's made out of aircraft grade aluminum and it's like really nice finish and it won't ever break. You could run it over with a bus and it just it wouldn't
wouldn't break.
Yeah. I could understand that.
And no RGB. That's
well,
thumbs down for me.
Yeah, well, I'm
if you want that, you got to pay $9,999.
And for that RGB and for that reason, I'm out.
But yeah, Apple bad, upvote to the left, please, guys.
Apple bad.
Thank you very much. Apple bad.
Everyone that's holding
number one on trending.
Number one on trending. Everyone that's holding and watching this on an iPhone or is listening to it, just immediately downvote. Gets reported immediately.
Splitting our community already before we even have one.
Yeah, damn right.
I like it. I love it.
All right, moving swiftly but surely onto E3. I only, and I know this is bad, I only watched the Xbox conference.
You've just seen the Microsoft one.
I've only seen the Microsoft one. I didn't see Nintendo's. I didn't see like anything really else, because I mean, I primarily play on PC and Xbox, which is just Microsoft stuff anyway. So I just didn't feel invested enough to watch anyone else's, really.
Yeah, fair. Well, I mean, Microsoft was the first one, so I guess we'll talk on that because we both know kind of what happened.
Okay. So, well, I didn't pay too much attention to. And again, it sounds bad because I'm like, well, I watched this one and I was invested.
You kind of had it on as like, you know, background noise kind of
almost thing. Yeah, like I saw a few things, like there were some indie games that looked really nice. Oh, here's one thing I did see. I saw that they did Battletoads.
That's coming back finally.
That is coming back. Yeah,
Battletoads remaster.
I'm surprised.
Cool.
Yeah, it got a short appearance. It didn't get a very long trailer. Like they showed it for about a minute and then that was it, but they didn't really talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not AAA, is it? It's just like a little arcade game that will be on the store for like £15-20.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, like if you put like Battletoads in the list of games, like say you got Halo, Gears of War, Battletoads, like, you know, our generation ain't gonna know what Battletoads
Yeah, they're like,
really.
what? Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's nice that it came. It's nice that it even got a space at all, really.
That's very true.
That's the cool thing.
So a big thing, obviously they revealed the new Xbox One project.
They're working on the next console.
They are.
I don't even say next generation at this point because I'm not even sure where generations start and stop now. Because we've had the One X and the One, which are like massively different consoles in like spec, and yet this is still the same generation. So I feel like the whole generation name has gone completely out the window now.
I suppose so. But they keep releasing them in. It's about every 7-8 years that the next generation comes out. Every next gen is about 7 years. But I do know that, well, in the press conference they said they partner with AMD for the CPU for the console.
Yeah, I mean they've been doing that for like the last 10 or so years, I'd say. I think the first Xbox had some sort of AMD hardware. Oh, it had Nvidia hardware, sorry. And the 360 they partnered with AMD. So for the last 10 plus years, we've been using AMD APUs.
Of course, yeah, APU.
Yeah, I mean they couldn't fit a whole graphics card in a console.
I mean, we could try it.
They could try, but just the PC at that point.
We cut a hole in the side and try it.
I mean, at the end of the day, a console is just a very tiny PC. It has all the same parts. It's got RAM. It's got a motherboard. All custom, obviously, for the console.
Yep, that's very true.
They are just very small form factor custom PCs.
Yeah.
That have their own operating system, whether it be Sony's PlayStation operating system or Microsoft's, you know, hack and slashed Windows 10 that they call their own.
Basically,
Xbox,
yeah. Oh, well, fair enough. Okay, so as far as the games that we saw, what are you most excited about to see?
Flipping Minecraft Diablo beta. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I thought that too.
We finally got a new Minecraft game.
I thought that as well. I was like, that reminds me a little bit of Diablo. Like, yeah.
It's very much like that. Where you got 4-player co-op. It's basically like a dungeon crawler, but with, you know, fun Minecrafty goodness.
I think honestly that I might pick that up. I'm gonna be.
I do appreciate that isometric games are coming back in style now, because they were big in the late 80s. Like, you know, Diablo 1 and 2. Baldur's Gate, even that's got a Baldur's Gate 3 coming out soon, which is really nice. Yeah. Even the original Fallout 1 and 2 were isometric top down kind of.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Like the best way to describe isometric is, you remember the original Resident Evil games where as you moved, the camera changed to like a certain scene position. Yeah,
it changed to a different part of the room.
That's what isometric was, but it was just top down. So the camera didn't follow you. You got to the edge of the screen, then the camera moved, like that kind of thing.
I'd find that a little annoying. To be honest, but there you go.
I mean, that's what they were back in the day, man.
I know.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I guess I'm
quite nice. Yeah,
too used to the modern. I guess
move with you, and that was the future.
Yeah,
rather.
I'm too used to the whole modern, the modern games and.
Too used. You're not a classic gamer.
No. Well, I bust out the PS2, PS1 every now and again, and have a little go. You know, which is always good.
Some nostalgia.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, so many companies are just using nostalgia to sell their stuff now.
They are.
I would say it's annoying, but it works. So. they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's true. PlayStation pulled out of E3.
Yeah, they weren't there.
They weren't.
Just not there.
Just
I
not
guess
there.
they're going to delay Last of Us 2 then by another year.
Another year.
Still waiting on that game.
They said 4th of July, didn't they? Or is it? It's either the 4th of July or 4th of August, but...
I mean, they said that like 2 years ago, so...
That's what I mean.
We still haven't... I mean,
that's been and
the
gone.
only thing we've got is Ellie playing a guitar. That's the only gameplay we have, if you can even call it that.
It's not gameplay, though. It's just a trailer.
It's a cinematic trailer. And what I'm going to say is that they're just delaying it until the PS5 comes out and it'll be a launch title. Because, I mean, Microsoft's got massive fucking balls for delaying Halo until Scarlet comes out and making it a launch title.
That's very true.
It's like, they look back. What sold the original Xbox? Was it Halo being a launch title? Oh, yeah, it was. Did the 360 launch of a Halo game? No, it didn't. Did the one? Not really. Maybe they're finally realizing. Halo sells our consoles, guys. We should make one come out the same day. You know, that'd be kind of useful.
I think that if that is what I don't know if that's obviously we haven't heard much from Sony about it. Like anyone really, they've just been really quiet about everything. But if that is what they're doing, I think they should have gone to E3 and teased it at least.
They're going to do their own little thing in a few months' time, I think, like in a few weeks.
Oh, are they?
Where it should be like a press reveal, like how Nintendo usually does it, where it should be like there will be a live stream in 2 weeks. We're going to show off some games, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess they went to save money. I mean, I have faith in them because all PS4 exclusive games are actually really fucking good. Like God of War is Game of the Year last year.
Yeah,
amazing.
It was, yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm probably missing loads of them. But honestly, like the one thing that is selling the PS4 is the exclusives, and finally Microsoft have an answer to that. The problem is they're not coming out for another year. So Sony still has a little bit of a chance to keep selling PS4s.
Suppose so. But I do have a question. Do you think, because of the amount of success from The Last of Us, the first one, do you think the second one can live up to the amount of hype and pressure that now they're under to deliver? Do you think they can meet that expectation?
I'd say yes and no. So we know, yes, it'll be a game. It'll be playable. Then it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, the fans just kind of ruin it for themselves. Like I always say, it's better to go in blind, no expectations, and be pleasantly surprised, than think, it's going to be the greatest game ever, PogChamp everywhere.
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh, it was good, but it didn't sate my hunger, kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I understand
that's the biggest problem with Call of Duty. I think everyone just hyped themselves up after one trailer, and then reality sets in November and October, and they're like, I let myself down. And that's not the game developer's fault in any stretch of the imagination. That is players' expectations. Do you believe that we as a community, as gamers, are too entitled nowadays, or not? How do you feel about that statement?
I think definitely. I think people expect way too much now, because when certain games, say one of my favorite games is Skate 3. It's not amazing by any stretch whatsoever. However, it holds a special place to me because for me, it's a somewhat open world. There's loads of different areas. You're limited on, like ability and whatever else, but you can play it like for hours. And like everyone I know that plays it can play it just endlessly for hours on end and still have fun with it. And they play it and they stick YouTube on in the background, maybe this podcast. And
they're the best kind of games where you can just play it regardless of like day on time. Like I think most games nowadays, especially the game called Destiny. Now Destiny is, at least it was fun for me. I stopped playing it after the second one came out, where it's fun because the game tells you it's fun, where it's like, oh look guys, it's really fun to get 5 other people and do this road, but it's like I need to get 5 other people. There's so many like hoops and shit I've got to jump through to have fun. Yeah,
I remember you were going on about it a lot, and I saw how much playtime you had in it, so I was like, well, okay, and I bought it, and then we played it for about 2-3 weeks, and then you were like, I'm so done with it, and I'm like, oh,
yeah. The big thing is I think the statement is it can be fun, but the amount of like non-fun you have to go through to begin with
Yeah.
is what's annoying. Like a game is supposed to be fun. End of the day,
Mm.
it's like you come home from work and you're like, all right, now to begin my second job. It's like,
Yeah.
I just want to enjoy,
Chill out and yeah.
play a game. I think the biggest achievements for me, like to begin with, they were great. Like, oh, I get rewards for playing games. That's so cool.
Mm.
But then it eventually became a point where it's like, oh, I'm not going to play this game. I've got all the achievements. Why bother?
Yeah.
It's like a game is supposed to be fun, not an achievement searching quest kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm just here to like max max my gamer score out.
I'm wasting my like. It's like you got these spreadsheets for games. It's like fucking hell, dude. I mean, if you enjoy that, go for it. But I mean, end of the day, you want to play a game that's fun, not a game where you're always chasing the fun. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, everyone's view of like fun as a concept is subjective, you know.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And I think that's the biggest thing. A game tries to appeal to everyone, not just a specific person, and that's where some people lose their, like, this game needs to appeal to me and me only.
Yeah, that's that's a good segue. Going back to what I was saying when you said you think.
Sorry, I kind of went on a full on.
No, honestly, it's okay. I feel like when you ask me if gamers are entitled, I think because it's not developers' fault, it's not the company's fault at all. They hold these open betas, they hold like petitions, and they say, what do you want? Instead of taking what they really want and creating it, they ask everyone in the community, what do you want? And then vote for it, or because there could be a vote that's 86%, like 86 that you can vote. What I'm trying to say, you can vote multiple times, but say one of them's at like 52% and the other one's at 48%. Still, half of those people wanted that other one, but they're not going to get it.
Yeah, not going to get it at all. Just
because that few more percentage, and then as soon as they kind of don't get what they want, then it becomes, oh, I hate this. This is shit. The developers don't listen to us. Oh, I bet they're going to charge us loads of money, even though they were willing to, buy the hardened edition or the special edition for like £150 anyway. Immediately, because they haven't got what they wanted, they turned on the game. Especially like now, when I feel like people are. How do I word it in a way? I suppose I'd just be a bit honest the way I word it. Obviously, it's nice to get your own way, but I feel like people now. Some people, not everyone, just throw a tantrum when they don't, instead of being.
It's always the vocal minority that shows up.
Yeah, and it's a thing that doesn't really matter. Like, the game is gonna be there. It's being made. And at the end of the day, it's a game. It's for fun. It's for recreation. It's not just to please the individual, like you said. It's for a mass of people that just love to play games. Not, oh, you wanted a glowing pink sword. Okay, you can't get that. And then, okay, I'm going to boycott the game, and everyone I share it with is going to then boycott the game, so that's 5,000 less people that are going to buy it now. Well done, developers. It's like, just, it's not going to have...
Suck it up.
It's,
Be mature. Like, there's better ways to voice your opinion than screaming at developers on Twitter and social media.
There is, and like email.
The other biggest thing is, the other biggest thing is, the game developers know how to game develop more than Jim from accounting does on Twitter. Okay, Jim's like, I want this, I want that, it'll be cool. And look, these people agree with me. Yeah, but those people aren't game developers.
No,
they wouldn't know anything to do with the servers, with the actual engine being made. Yeah, like, sure, it sounds cool on paper, but you try and put that in the game with this time frame and this stress and this thing, and make it work and not buggy at all, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's.
If you want to make a game, go and learn how to game develop.
I think.
I guess.
I think one game recently, which we haven't touched on just yet, but I think the Cyberpunk 2077, which
that game.
I'm not gonna lie,
unmountable levels of hype, and it's scary.
I know
I think
you shouldn't Like as we said previously, you shouldn't get it in your mind going blank. However, what they showed was so good, and
Keanu
Reeves, the man himself, came out.
That's enough.
And he done did it to him. You know, and
you're breathtaking.
Yes, I am.
No, you're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
But they set it up really well, I feel. And it was so well presented. That it's kind of difficult not to be a little bit excited about it. Like I am. Like I knew when I saw the first teaser trailer that I was like, whoa. And I think the majority of people were like, wow, we want this.
We want this now.
And and we've seen more of it now. Oh, yeah. And I know it's coming in 2020, but I think it can. 16th. I think that game can meet its expectations. I think that might be a good runner-up for Game of the Year. I'm gonna call it now. I could be wrong, but I think that could do it for 2020. I think that could be up there.
But yeah, going back to your previous statement though, is it too hype to like, regardless of how good it is, people are gonna be upset?
Yeah,
I think that's inevitable. I think you can't appease 100% of your audience.
No, of course not.
And you should never try, because then it becomes this, watered down mess where it doesn't appeal to anyone at all.
You're trying to appeal to the people that are not going to stick around anyway. So it's like, okay, so do we want to make a game for 500,000 people, or do we want to make a game for 5,000 people? And if we just target that 5,000 people and make them happy, then that's 500,000 people that are going to go, okay, not what we were expecting.
Yeah.
And then, when it breaks all the way down to the bottom, at the end of the day, it is a business. And I'm not saying it's
all the time.
It's a business. They're there to make money. That's really what it is. But I feel some companies are in it for gaming and money, some for money.
A lot of indie games mainly are in it for just getting their, hey, look, here's a game I made. It's really cool. Hope you like it. Like Fez before the whole debacle with Phil Fish. And then the biggest one is probably, what was the game called? Undertale.
Yes.
That game blew up.
Yeah,
that game was just a little guy made it. One dude made it, by the way, with like maybe a few people helping, like with art and everything.
Yeah.
Like, that game, overnight sensation. It's still being talked about to this day.
I mean, we are.
And it's scary. Because then all of a sudden, then the community becomes toxic after a while, because it's like, we want this, we want that. It's like, hold up, this guy didn't expect this. Give him time.
No, he was doing something he loved. And
Toby Fox is the name. I'll give credit to him.
Big up Toby Fox. If you ever see this, Toby, you're the man.
Yeah, because he's released a new game now, or at least like a demo of it.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it. But again, everyone's like, it's not Undertale. We don't like it.
We want this. We want that, and it's just like,
you're not making the game.
Let the man have his creativity. Let him have his imagination run wild. It's his.
It's his game.
It's his game. Yeah, it's his game. It's his project. It's his money invested primarily as well.
I think sometimes games can be a little just. I guess it just depends where you go. Because before Reddit, you didn't hear about half of this, stuff.
No, I feel
Reddit, all the little voices become massive.
Yeah, especially I feel
mob mentality
from maybe 5
I'd say
years
since this generation. Or maybe towards the end of the 360 PS3 life cycle.
Maybe. I'd say in the last 5-6 years, people have become two things. Way too just sensitive to things. But at the exact same time, they're opinionated, which is fine. But it's like they're pushing their opinion, not talking about it. So I could have my opinion on something. We talk about it. We agree, disagree. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We're still friends at the end of whatever, But whereas some people go, "Oh, you listen to that band? Well, I don't like you anymore." And then,
"Oh yeah, you're trash." Yeah, judging you.
Yeah, off of a band, off of like a game they like. Like I've mentioned, this is going to be controversial. I'm going to throw this one in here.
Oh boy, here we go.
I actually like the original Homefront. I like it, and I know I'm a big majority don't. And I know also the new one, Homefront Revolution, is also a
I got
really
massively panned on release, I think. I
no.
haven't played either of them, so I wouldn't know.
I am gonna do a playthrough on Homefront Revolution. Actually, that's coming on my channel, so that'll be that. My channel will be linked down in the description
somewhere, yeah.
So look out for that kind of stuff, or don't.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think another big thing as well. Sorry to cut in.
No, it's fine.
But I'm an avid believer in you cannot have an opinion about a game if you haven't played it.
Oh no, not at all.
Like if you, I guess like if it's not out yet, you
not
can,
not like a detailed opinion, like as far as how the game works. And,
I mean, telling people you're not allowed to have fun. That game looks boring to me. It's not how it works. They have fun, and you're berating them for having fun.
Yeah,
that doesn't fly.
It extends to everything. It extends.
It's
to,
like I'm angry. You're having fun. Stop that.
Yeah.
It's like whenever people when a couple months ago people were saying, "Oh, these kids doing those Fortnite dances in real life, so cringy."
Yeah.
It's like guess what? They're having fun. You're being a
and they're always smiling and laughing and having a good time.
Who's enjoying that day more?
Yeah, they are because they don't care. They're just having a good time.
They don't care.
No.
They're kids. Let kids be kids.
That's what I mean.
Anyway,
like let them run around and be nuts. That's kind of what kids do. Obviously, like not
enjoy it where you can.
Not to the extreme. Like there's an extent to everything, but like they're kids. They're not supposed to be robots.
Yeah.
So. So that ends that one.
That ends that tangent. Yeah. But what are you saying about Homefront? Like before I interrupt you.
Yeah, sorry, no, we're going to go back into the tangent now. We thought we left it behind, we didn't.
Back here.
Yeah, straight back in. I went into Homefront Revolution. I didn't read. I saw the trailer, and I was a bit like, okay, this is like, in my mind, I was thinking this is how it should have been. Yeah. I wish they'd just waited and then... I reckon if the first one didn't have the reputation it had, I reckon when this came out, it would have been like amazing. But it's because of the name and the reputation. They tried to revive it. Even if they called it something different, I think it would have worked a bit better. However, it doesn't take away from the fact that the game is very good. Like, people complain. I've read a lot of comments, and people complain a lot about, it's buggy, and it's this happens, that happens, I can't do this, it won't let me do this, it's broken, you need to fix it. I've seen a lot of these, and I've gone on I've looked on forums and I've looked on Steam, things like that, and people have said, oh, what PC specs do you have? And the 7 out of 10 times their PC is just not very good. It's very I'm not saying that's bad, but it's just not good enough to run a AAA title.
No, but at the same time, you shouldn't have to spend like £1,000 just to play a game.
No.
At the same time, a game should be optimized for what's the most current hardware, I would argue. Like, me and you have 1070 graphics cards, right?
Yeah, we've got very high-end computers.
1070 is probably like mid to high range now. Back in the day, it was pretty good. But like, when Homefront came out, that's a good graphics card.
Yeah.
And the fact that you needed to buy a £600 plus graphics card just to run it decently, that's not a well-optimized game, I'm afraid to say.
No.
Like, if it can run on a console, it should be able to run on your PC, like on integrated graphics or something like that.
Well, I think the reviews on consoles are a lot better. Obviously, it's probably not optimized very well for PC.
We're very fussy in the PC gaming industry, I'd say.
Yes, we are.
We want everything to be perfect. We're like, PC gaming.
Yeah, I think that's mainly.
I can't brag to my friends about this unoptimized game.
Yeah, I think the game should be optimized, but then there's also a level of, tech that you have to have.
Medium setting should be able to run on pretty much anything entry level, I would argue. And if you want to push for those very high, then you need to get the better hardware.
Yeah.
But I think Homefront, when it went on release, you had to have a high-end graphics to play it on medium, which is a no-go.
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously, they patched it and they improved it.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that, I can understand.
Crisis, I would say, is the most super optimized game. Like, its settings don't even start like medium low. It starts at high, and you just go up higher from that.
Yeah.
And even on like minimum settings, game still looks fucking great, and it can run on anything. It's when you truly push it, then you start needing NASA grade computers.
Yeah.
To run it. Yeah, 6-year-old game, by the way, still pushing cards to its limit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, your PC can't run it. You've got a pretty high end, and it still
I
can't.
can't run it max settings.
No.
I can run it, but I can't play it because it's like.
Yeah, you have to turn it all the way down.
And people look at that and think it's unoptimized, it's rubbish. But I would say that game's future proofed.
Yeah.
It doesn't look bad on high or very high. Yeah, man, they know what they're doing with that game. Crytek are very impressive developers, which, funny enough, is the same engine that Homefront's running on.
Yep.
CryEngine 3.
But that's probably why it's really hard to run. Because if it runs on the same engine that
the benchmark engine,
if it runs on the engine that Crysis 3 runs on, then I can understand why it's very difficult to run. Yeah. Okay.
But it proves Crytek know what their engine, how to work around it.
Yeah.
They like, we made this. This is our baby. We know what we do. And then of course, I don't know whom Homefront was made by. I know it's THQ to begin with.
It was. They went bankrupt. They went bankrupt ages ago now.
Yeah, THQ Nordic is around now, but it's not the same.
No.
They lost a lot of their games and everything.
They did. All right, moving on now. So, there's a big game, and you might know it. It's a little franchise. It's called Call of Duty.
Battletoads. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, you mean that other big game?
Yes, it's called Call of Duty. Modern Warfare.
It's Call of Duty even like, remember they tried to phase out the name Call of Duty for a little while?
Yes.
Because it was just Modern Warfare 2 back in like 2009. They wanted to get rid of it, but I guess they're bringing it back.
Yeah, they started making the text on the
very tiny.
Very tiny
comparison.
Yeah, I was just looking up. I've got like racks next to me, and I've got them on there. You see when they tried to make it real tiny and they tried to back off, and then they were like, no, bold, and we'll bring it. We'll just stay strong with it, kind of thing.
Yeah, you go back. People say Modern Warfare 2. They don't say Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
Do they? That's how they know it. But there's a new Modern Warfare. Yeah, there is coming up. Before
we dive deep in, let's give a little background. If some people do not know, so about Black Ops 4. I didn't buy it. You did buy it. Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. I'm on PC of all things as well.
Yeah. I know we were talking a few days ago, and you were saying that basically Infinity Ward made Treyarch change Black Ops 4 when it was.
I wouldn't say Infinity Ward. I'd say Activision, the publisher themselves.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't think the development studio is actually like.
No, sorry. So yeah, Activision.
Activision just kind of like whipping and make COD.
So I know
loot crates.
You know more details about it than me. But if I'm along the right lines, the game was mostly finished, and then Activision said, "Hey, buddy, old friend, old guy, old pal, no, change it."
Kids don't like campaigns nowadays. They like flossing and Fortnite. Make one of those. So yeah, they scrapped
was there a campaign and then they just cut it completely and just made it multiplayer only?
There was, like, if you don't already know, there is sort of like a campaign, if you call it, in Black Ops 4, where in regards to its like cloning and stuff like that, like Blackout has its own story to it.
Yeah. And
basically it's like a bunch of like clones fighting each other to become like the ultimate like super soldiers kind of thing.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
It's very phoned in kind of thing. But there has been tons of leaks where Black Ops 4's campaign was like 80% done, and then they just dropped it completely. Just like, oh, we need Battle Royale. It sells. We need to sell skins and loot crates.
That's I don't know how I feel about. Like, I mean, I didn't buy it, so that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. But yeah, I didn't buy it. I saw the first trailers and stuff. I was the hype was building, All right, sorry about that. A bit of technical difficulties there.
Yeah.
Our call went down, and we don't know why. So thank you, Discord, for that. That was very nice of you.
That's why external recording is a good thing, guys. Trust me.
Yes.
You won't notice anything, luckily. So it's all good.
Through the magic of editing, you won't know that anything happened.
Oh, it's wonderful.
As I was saying, I kind of don't really remember now, to be honest. Yes. Well, the reason I didn't buy it, I watched the trailers, and I got a bit excited for it, and I was like, oh, okay, well, and then I said, well, let's see what the campaign looks like, and let's see what they announced for that, and it never came, and it never came, and then it was announced that there was no campaign, and for me, I was, I'm invested in, I like story games. I'm like, I get very heavily invested in good storytelling, really, and I'm not saying it's bad, like it's bad or it's phenomenal, but it's a good, it's a good solid story throughout Black Ops and what happens and stuff, and kind of, I feel like we kind of grew up with it as Call of Duty was becoming this massive thing.
We were in its prime, I'd say. I'd say between Modern Warfare 1 and Black Ops 2, that was like
prime
COD. Like that was the years. That was the wonder years.
It was.
That was the early 20s of the Call of Duty series. Living life, enjoying it, and now it's divorced 8 times. It has 4 kids it's got to look after, and it's just a complete fucking nightmare.
But basically, for me, I don't play Fortnite. I don't play Apex.
Yeah, the whole Battle Royale thing to me doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, it doesn't appeal to me either because it's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't get it. It's like it's a gun game, but then you build things as well. I know maybe some people are going to get a bit like iffy, but
if you enjoy it, enjoy it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Simple as that. Well, don't let us tell you how to play games.
If I want to play a shooting game, I want to play something with, some level of realism. I don't want to. It's just, it goes back to the thing with Call of Duty now, where I play a lot of COD 4 Remastered now, since I bought it, and I really enjoy it. It's simple, it's basic, it does what it says on the box. There's not a million attachments, there's not all these crazy skins you can have where you can walk around like a clown, you can walk around like a fluffy pink dinosaur, whatever it is, right? It's got to that point now. I like it when it's just raw. It's just a shooting game. It doesn't have to be novelty. Like, it's an action game. It shouldn't be. Visuals are nice, and everything like that. But as I said earlier, everything has a limit. There's an extent to everything.
Yeah.
But when everyone on your team's got big pink or blue or neon green fluffy helmets with big rabbit ears on running around.
Yeah.
And when you shoot your gun, it's like fireworks and what, like, it's just so much. It's so just, what's wrong with just simplified a battlefield, about an actually strategic, thought out gameplay rather than I'm just going to run in my exosuit and hop over this building and slam into the floor and kill the whole enemy team. That's not very tactical. That's, to me.
The biggest thing, games nowadays are appealing to like people that aren't as good, I would say. Like, for example, with the specialists kind of thing in Black Ops 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you're 0-9, but now you've got this ability to insta-kill someone with your grav spikes.
Yeah.
It's like, I just died to that. That wasn't an earned death. I just got, because the guy waited long enough to get a special ability.
Yeah.
And especially like back in the day with COD 4. You had to earn a gold camo for your gun, right?
Yeah, and you still in the remastered, you still do.
How did you earn that? That's so cool. You have to do challenges and stuff like that.
Yep.
But nowadays it's like the coolest camos you buy. It's like, oh, how'd you buy that? Oh, how'd you get that? Got lucky in the loot box. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you don't earn it.
Yeah. You don't earn anything.
Which is what I like about. There's a love-hate to everything, but in Call of Duty Remastered, and I'm just going to go over this quick and then we can like move on.
Yeah, we'll move on.
You can earn and grind and get points and buy these loot crates, and then it gives you, these tokens, and then you can then use those like COD points were in Black Ops. You buy stuff.
Yeah.
You earn it that way. The downside is, obviously, you can buy COD points, and then you can just buy.
Yeah.
You can just pay your way.
You can just fast track your way to it.
But I see the game as not getting, Like it's more rewarding if you earn it, and it's more rewarding the more when you play it and you're into something, you're dedicated. I'm gonna get this, whatever it is. It's like, oh, I want this sight, I want this camo, I want my character to have this, like, you know, like anything, like this certain suit, this.
Yeah, you want to get a sense of I earned this. I'm proud.
Yeah,
you know?
you don't want to just go into a store and buy
That
it.
chase, it's like the carrot. You gotta grab it.
If you just go into the store and buy it, then 5 minutes later
There's no
you're like, oh,
yeah.
I'm bored. I'm bored of it now.
Yeah.
Like you don't
There's
enjoy
no
it.
sense of like, there's no like, what's the point in playing the game when I can just buy everything?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Like, that's especially apparent in like most games nowadays, where like pre-order. Like, oh, I pre-order and get this special weapon at the start of the game. It's like I'm just pre-ordering it to have an easier time. That's like, where's the fun? Like, why would I even bother farming for these better weapons when I can just buy this one for £5 and breeze through the game?
Yeah.
Which I just don't like.
But
Final Fantasy 15 did that on release. They had like some content you could just get with pre-order.
I really
It just made the entire like first few hours of the game completely easy. It's like, oh, I'm now watching a movie. Yay.
Great. I'm glad I
paid for a game, not for a fucking cinematic experience.
I'm glad I paid 70 quid to watch this movie.
Pretty much.
Anyway, it comes down to business and making money at the end of the day.
If it sells, it sells. Which
If
sucks,
it sells,
but
it sells,
it
yes.
works.
In my opinion, this is the last thing I'm going to say on the matter, though. In my opinion, it would sell a whole lot better if they stripped it all back and it was very basic. And you had to earn stuff. Because I feel like then it would revamp the market almost. People would be like, kids would go into this game like we went into COD 4, like we went into Black Ops, and we were like, right, okay, so, the MP5, or what was the most popular gun in, like, was it Commando? It was called the Commando? Or something like that?
There was the assault rifle in Black Ops 1 called the Commander.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the best one. Like everyone wanted that, and you had to grind to buy it.
Keep on grinding.
And then
you get on quite late in the game as well, like level 46 or whatever.
Yeah. So quite late in the leveling, so you had to play and get it. But then when you got it, everyone used it because one, they earned it, and it was so good that they used it all the time. But I think there's also there's that sense of I earned this. I can now, I can use this as much as I want now. I've worked so hard for it that I can just, you know what I mean? But it boils down to business, and they just want to make money. But I think they're a bit, they're almost acting a bit too desperate to make money. They're like, give me money. Like, we need it. It's like, yes, we understand this. But if you just make a good game, you'll get it. Yeah. You don't need to try and trick.
The biggest one is CD Projekt Red, Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Witcher 3. Like, there's no microtransactions.
There's DLC. But it isn't expensive.
In and of itself, full on like expansions,
They are like, separate games. Yeah, they are.
The Witcher armor pack, £10, you get new armor. It's a full on like new world, new voice acting, new like weapons, new skins, new everything.
Yeah.
It's full on, it's crazy. And then you've other side of the coin, you've got like what COD does. It's like, oh, here's 2 new multiplayer maps.
That's £40, please.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'd rather have, save my money.
They try and push as well. They try and push to sell it so much that you can see how desperate they are to sell it, but no one's really buying it. So anyway, let's leave that there because we could go on.
We could talk about that all day.
We could indeed.
We could fill a whole podcast with it. That's what we're doing right now.
Yes, we are. Right, moving very swiftly on. You know a lot more about this stuff than I do. So we are now going to get into the boring techie bit, if it wasn't already boring and teching.
Oh,
techie.
And if you was watching, this is where you can leave now.
Yeah, you can off ski now if you want to. It's going to get real boring.
Queen
but if you play PC, you're interested in hardware and things like that. Yeah, stick around and hit the like button.
Stick around. Yeah, honestly.
So the new Ryzen 9 CPUs.
Oh boy, the third generation, or Ryzen 2nd Gen Zen 2. That's the correct, like, whatever they're calling it.
Yes. Well, the 3000.
3900, 3800.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let you kick it off with the one they announced on Sunday is the
Yes.
3950X. You know, I've
Oh,
got some details
boy.
about it. I don't know too much about it. You probably
Yeah.
know a lot more than I do, and I'll chime in with
So
what I know. So
let me take you back, boys, to a time called 2016. I know, so long ago, right? You couldn't really get more than 4 cores in a processor
tell me about
unless
it.
you went full on professional, like over £1,000. Like, if I remember correctly, no, not Ryzen, but the Intel 5930X or K, whatever it was called back then,
Mm.
was a £850 plus
Whew.
processor, and you got a whopping, drum roll please, Danny boy, like 6 cores. I know, and back
Ooh.
then that was huge
Yeah,
because
it
Intel had a
was.
monopoly
Yeah.
on the market.
Mm.
Then all of a sudden, Ryzen punches through the door in 2017. It's like, yo, 8-core processors, affordable prices, and the
Yeah.
PC world was changed forever for the good. Honestly, like I'm rocking an 8-core processor right now in my thing, and the only reason I could afford that is because Ryzen made it so Intel had to compete. You know,
Very
8-core
true.
processors now are like 3 times less the price than they were like 3 years ago.
I would not have my current PC if
No.
that, you know, if
That's for sure. Like you went from quad core, didn't you? You went from
I had the 4700K, so the
the
Skylake.
the i7.
Yep. So quad core i7. I believe it was the Skylake. Maybe.
Might have been. I'm not too sure of older Intel stuff.
Or Coffee
No,
Lake.
it's not Sandy Bridge.
It was something Lake.
One of those lakes. One of the
It
lakes.
was one of the lakes. One of them. Anyway.
Yeah.
And I remember I paid 370, 350,
Which for the time
for the time
wasn't bad.
No,
you know?
not at all. I was
Not
like,
at all.
I was happy to spend that. I was like, well, at the time, that was
Mhm.
the best you could get.
Yeah.
Back in what year did I build it? I can't remember.
2015. I want to
2015.
say.
Yeah. So back then,
Early 2015.
that was like, you know,
Yeah.
for a personal
the
gaming
highest,
PC build, this is what you get.
Prosumer. Yeah. For consumers, that was a high end.
Very recent.
Anything after that was like Xeon server stuff, which
Yeah, it was
is not for
Xeons,
gaming.
and they
Don't
were
ever-
like, oh, they were
Xeon.
nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. But now you upgraded to the 1800X right now,
Yes.
which cost half the price of your i7
It cost me £200.
for double the cores, double the threads,
Yeah.
and roughly I'd say the same like speed, like gigahertz wise.
Yes, but that
similar.
was the speed that I had in the i7. We overclocked it and nearly melted the melted the motherboard because we had the 212 Evo
How
on
young
there.
we were. Oh yeah.
That £20 cooler running. What did we max it at? I think we maxed it at 4.6 gigahertz.
We got 4.6 and it wasn't stable, so we had to
It
go
was
down.
not stable, no. So we knocked it down to 4.4, and that's still when I tried to play any game, it was never stable
It
and
kept blue screening on
always.
certain games too.
So then I had to turn it back down. But I think the base clock was 3.6, and we turned it up to 4. In the end, it just stayed on 4.
I think we got like 4.1, something like that.
Yeah, and it sat comfortably
low
there. But this one, straight out of the box, sits at 4 gigahertz. I haven't had to touch it. I don't really want to be honest, because
You don't need to.
I don't need to.
Honestly.
Like, it's straight out of the box.
Like,
It's cheaper.
There's enough cores to balance it.
Yeah, you plug it in, it works, and that's it. You don't need to touch it.
Nope.
Well, I don't, but I'm sure some people will be like, "Oh, you need to
You
do
can
this."
you
and
really need to do this and that. But,
yeah, you can do that if you want to, but I don't need to.
and I think like what?
Yeah.
10% of all people that build PCs overclock.
Yeah,
It's got a lot easier nowadays.
We only
than
tried
10
it because
years
we
ago.
were like, "Oh, this will be fun," and
Yeah.
you were only down for it because it wasn't your computer you were doing it to.
Yeah, I mean, that was back when you had an i7, I had an i5 still, and I was like,
Yeah.
I ain't touching my i5. That ain't gonna be rendering anything. So AMD's done it again.
They done
With
it
Zen
again.
2,
Yep.
they've released Ryzen 9, which I think the 3800X is 12 cores
Okay.
for about $300.
Really?
That's
Wow.
actually insane. Yeah, I think 350 for the 3800X, and it will give you 12 cores, 24 threads, all at like 4.6 stock, and it's like, fuck.
That is.
And you don't need to buy new motherboards for it either. If you've got last year's
No,
motherboards, they still
yep.
work.
They do.
still support. Just
If I ever want,
plug it in
if
there.
I wanted to upgrade to it, I could.
You could
So,
easily.
yeah.
No problems. No new motherboard needed. No new
Nope.
power supply.
Nope.
To a degree.
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
they did one better on Sunday night, which was as the time this recording about 3 or 4 days ago now.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
The Phenom 150X was revealed,
It was indeed.
and that shit's got 16 cores.
Yeah, 16 cores, 32 threads.
16 cores, 32 threads, and a boost clock of 5 gigahertz.
It's 4.7. I
Yeah.
think. I think it's 4. Well, it's like 4.7, 4.8.
Stock, but it can
It's-
boost if it wants
It
to
is
per core.
stock there. Yeah, it's like that's
which
what
is
it's
insane.
out the box.
And so 4 years ago, 4 cores was the standard. Now this is 16, so it's really like 4, 8, 12, 4 times as many cores, and it only costs $750 for 16 cores. To put that into perspective, Intel sells a £1,200 processor with 12 cores.
They do. That's the. It's the rival to. It is the rival to the 3800. And it is
Pretty much.
just way more
I
than
just want
double
to
the
see
price.
how Intel's going to respond. Because
Can
no matter
they?
what, we win. The consumers win. Because it means we'll get better processors for cheaper prices.
They will. I mean,
know?
it goes back to what I talked about my first PC build, and I bought the i7, and I bought it for £350, and that was the top. That was the top one. You can get much better unless you
Nope.
spent crazy money.
Yeah, the only thing like higher end chips back then did was just a little bit more boost clock on the cores. That was it. There was no extra cores back then.
No.
You were just stuck with 4, and if you wanted more, you'd have to be buying some expensive gear.
Yeah, because
That
I
stuff.
did look at it and I was like, oh, there's no way.
No.
My job at the time
Insane.
did nowhere near support anything in the
Not
in the
even, yeah.
realm of that. So,
I couldn't be doing
yeah.
that.
Do you think Ryzen are gonna? I know they're gonna keep going, but what do you think for the future? What do you think? What do you hope to see them release, or like a project they start, or or what do you think Intel's
What I want,
gonna bring?
what I want AMD to do.
What do you think Intel's gonna bring to the table to try and rival it?
I mean, the only thing they've got going from now, even now, single-threaded performance for games and stuff, Intel have been better than AMD. And AMD have been taking over the multi-thread optimizations, so stuff like rendering, recording, streaming, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
AMD's been better at now. Intel has still had we have higher frame rates in our games because our single clocks are better. But even now with Zen 2, AMD's matching them. So I'm guessing they're just going to keep pushing for that. They're gonna keep releasing like single-threaded performance CPUs, which honestly they're appealing to a market that doesn't exist anymore. Like, who wants a CPU just to play games?
No,
When
you want
could
it
just
for
buy
everything.
a Ryzen one, sacrifice 5 frames or 10 frames in a game, if that, and then render a video in the background while playing Call of Duty if you wanted to, just because
Yeah.
you could, for the same price. It's a no-brainer,
Well,
really.
for a cheaper price.
Exactly.
So,
It's
yeah.
insane. But what I want Intel to do nowadays is fucking sort out their nanometer thing, because they've been stuck on 14
Oh, yeah.
nanometer for so long. AMD are doing 7 nanometer now, half the size of the dies, and Intel just like, what do we do? Fucking, they're really getting screwed over right now. I feel like Intel were just so monopolized in what they had, and they're like, no one's gonna challenge us. It's like the king like sitting on their throne, like grapes in their mouth, and all of a sudden AMD's like barges in, like, bitch, this is my house now.
Yeah,
And
the revolution's come, boys.
Yeah, the best thing is AMD, they're still advancing technology. Now there's a 16 core one. They didn't just stop and be like, yeah, Ryzen 8 cores, that'll be the new, that's it. We'll stick with 8 cores for a couple of years. Fuck that, they're already making 16 core ones 3 years later, or 2 years later actually. That's insane.
So,
But what I want AMD to do now is target Nvidia. I want them to get their GPUs going and actually fight Nvidia on the high end,
yeah, that'd be good.
which is probably not going to happen for another year yet, because they revealed Navi, the architecture for the GPUs.
Okay. Yep.
And it's not even like faster than the 2070, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, Nvidia started the market on high-end GPUs that cost over $1,000. It's like,
I mean, I'm sure they'll
It's a bit
figure it
annoying.
out and try and get it at an affordable price. I mean, that's
I mean,
what
now
they
they've got
did.
the money from Ryzen coming in. You know, give them a couple of years
Yeah,
under the shadows, and all of a sudden, look, guys, here's 4K gaming with ray tracing for only £400. That shit
yeah,
would be insane. That would cause Nvidia to even lower their prices, and that's what
yeah.
we want. We want a world where PC gaming isn't looked at as like you need high-end computing to get into it. I
Mm,
mean, a Ryzen 5 and like a 1660 would cost you both together in like a PC about £600
yeah.
for like high-end gaming. 4 or
Mm,
5 years ago, that would have barely let you play League of Legends on like max graphics
yeah. I've
back then.
when meeting people, I've had two sides
Hmm.
of the coin. I've had people say, people ask me like, "Oh, do you play like Xbox, PlayStation?" I say, "Oh, I have an Xbox and I play on PC." And
Hmm.
there's still, I feel like there's not. I feel like because it's so when you it's like anything really, but when you research it and you look into it a little bit, it
Hmm.
becomes easier to understand. And I feel
Yeah,
like PCs, it's everything that's coming out, all the numbers, all the like gigahertz and speed and wattage and cores and threads
it's
and
terrifying if you don't know anything about it.
yeah, and it's almost bombarding
It's
to
very
some people.
it's very scary.
I've had two sides of the spectrum where I've talked to people. They've been into PCs a bit, like they have them,
Hmm.
but they're like mid-range, low end, and they've been like, "Oh, I wish I could do something like that, but I wasn't too sure, so I
Yeah.
got this. I didn't really invest in it, and this and that."
Hmm.
And then I told someone that I played on PC, and he straight up laughed at me and said, "PCs can't run games," and I was just like,
Yep.
"What?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, sit down." I
Hmm.
plugged my. Well, actually, I got the wireless thing for my Xbox controller when I use it on PC,
Yeah.
and I plugged it in and I put it in his hand. I said, "There you go, you play that." And he was
It
sitting there, and
changed
then
his life.
his body language started to change a little bit. He was like, "Oh, it's all right," and I'm like,
Oh god.
"Yeah, it's all right.
By the end of the
It's
day, he
all
was like,
right.
"Ah, I gotta build my own
It's the
PC."
best thing you've ever played, mate." But yeah,
Hmm.
it is kind of like daunting to some people, like with all the information that is there, and I
I
feel
think it's the
like
biggest problem is like advertising. I think for PC
yeah,
gaming, it's like, oh, you look at console gaming, like, oh, Xbox, PlayStation costs like £250, £300, and then you look
mm,
at PC, you're like, oh, gaming PC. You Google it, Alienware, 2 grand. I'm like, oh, PC gaming is way
yeah,
too expensive. I think
and
because
yeah,
the myth is like, oh, if I want to play games, I have to buy like a really high end computer. No,
yeah. There's still
far
this
from it, my good man.
there's still that stigma there as well of,
Big time.
oh, I play PC games or I play on PC, but people associate that with like,
Elitism.
oh, you're a nerd, you're a geek,
Yeah.
you're very, you're very like
It's because to some
almost
people, the only
creepy,
thing,
you're like kept away in your room
yeah,
all the time, and it's like I've been at work all week and I maybe played League for a couple nights, but not all night, maybe for a few hours. Yet
hmm,
they've don't have a job and they sit on FIFA all day. And it's like,
yeah.
well, who's really tucked away and not out there doing really much? And
It goes
you
back
know,
because they don't understand it. They belittle you. They berate you
yeah,
because they're like, I don't think that's fun, so you shouldn't think that's fun.
yeah. It just goes
And I'm gonna
background,
laugh at
doesn't
you.
it?
I think that there was, I don't know who made the quote, but if I find out, I'll reference it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what's it? First they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win.
Yeah,
And that's kind of happening at the moment. I would say, like with esports, another tangent. It relates to it very strongly. Like to begin with, esports. You've got like ESPN, like video game players. What lol? And now they're fighting you. They're like, oh, you play video games. That's not a sport. Go away. Screw you.
yeah.
And then eventually, esports is gonna take over regular sports. It's already kind of happening in a sense.
It is
Like you've got
slowly.
ESPN actually airing esport games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like look at Twitch streams.
Yeah,
World's finals for League last year hit over what a couple million views, something like that.
easily. Yeah, it was
I
like
haven't got
five or
statistics, but
six.
it's still growing, and regular sports has kind of reached this like apex now,
It's like
where
plateaued.
it's still huge, but it isn't growing. It's
No, because everyone knows
remaining.
about it.
Yeah,
Everyone knows
it's
about
just
that now.
staying the same.
It's global. Everyone knows. This is
Hmm.
something new, something interesting. It's a whole different market. It's a whole different thing.
It's huge. I mean,
Yeah,
Sky. You need to have Sky Sports or BT Sport. They cost to watch it.
a lot of
To
money
watch
as well.
esports, you need a Chrome tab. You know,
Yeah, you just go online for free, watch it.
you don't even need a Chrome tab.
Go, you,
Mobile phone.
yeah,
You know, yeah.
and watch
Just
it for nothing.
as long as you have a connection to the internet, you can watch esports. Which
Yeah.
is it's insane. It's going to keep growing. And Grandpa, you better fucking join the party or get swept under
You
the
better
rug, my good
log
man.
the fuck in or get the fuck
Yeah,
out.
stop playing it. It's crazy. It's yeah. That's all I can say. Just get with it, or you'll be left behind.
Yeah, very
The
true.
biggest thing. It's huge.
Very true. We're going to go on to one of our last segments now. I'm going to talk about the security breach that happened at a very big company. We've mentioned this company quite a lot, and it may surprise some people
On and off.
if they're still listening. So the company in question is Microsoft.
Poor Battletoads Inc.
Poor Battletoads
Microsoft,
Inc.
my
Yeah.
bad. Battletoads, man, they're selling all our data. Rest in
Yep.
peace.
So
But yeah, Microsoft Azure, wasn't it? Or OneDrive, sorry, something like that.
it was OneDrive. So there was one of their servers in their warehouses sitting there all on its lonesome. Just one day. Just happened to have some bored hacker strolled on by. And they found this server. And they found that this server housed and kept personal information from customers.
Oof.
So bank details, addresses, phone numbers, names, everything. Basically.
Stuff every company holds, by the way.
Yes, like all companies hold it, but usually it's on a server that people can't get
Usually
into.
they protect it,
Yeah.
or encrypt it, or do something besides, bank details. It's just put them there, nice and warm. Yeah.
So the server had absolutely no protection on it. It was open. I don't know why.
Wi-Fi levels of security.
But yeah, basically. So it was completely unsecure. So the server had all these details on it, but there was no. It was just still titled as it was when it was created. So there is no it belongs to this person, or this company go through it, or such and such. It was just one of the servers. So no one had claimed it, or no one is claiming it. And hackers, I think some hackers did get into it and leak some information out of it, but obviously as soon as they got in, they quickly found out that they were in there, and they managed to lock it off pretty quick, and they didn't get too much, but they still got some info and shared it online, unfortunately, which sucks for those people because
which really sucks because they've got to do a whole lot of resetting and just phone
'cause
calls and stuff, which they really shouldn't even have to do in the first place.
their bank details.
You trust these trillion-dollar companies to look after even the most basic stuff, and even then, they can't.
Nope. So
they're too big to realize there's these little breaches at the bottom.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it goes.
It sucks.
So some information got leaked online. Obviously, people bought it, like credit card information, and people bought holidays and whatever else. When they checked the server, there was 80 million individual details on it. So 80 million different people.
80 million.
That full details are on it, phone number, everything. And in the article, they called it a gold mine for identity theft, hacking.
It's not even like people use OneDrive. That's any Microsoft related account information, really.
Yeah.
Like you have a Hotmail, it could have been in there.
Yeah, it could have been.
Like I'd actually probably advise checking just in case. Like if you were one of the individuals, because even though it was set in America, it could still be overseas accounts.
It could be.
They could still, I mean, probably not Britain because we have GDPR now, I think, which kind of forces them all to stay local. But even then, this was a while ago, wasn't it? So it might not even been full effect, 100%.
No, yeah, that's very true.
So it's always best just in case, make sure your accounts are safe, your credit cards aren't out there, and I'd just to ease you back of your mind, really.
Yeah, because you know, I've been in a situation, not where my details were stolen, but I know of quite a few people's details have been stolen, and it's just as simple as
super sucks.
just even on some forms when you go to fill them out, like some companies, even if you go for like sign up to a bank or for even for you sign a contract when you get your phone, a new phone, and it just says, oh, do you agree that we can share this information with our partners? But not only do they share it, but some companies, especially people who are trying to scam people, buy information off of these companies, and people are like, oh no, they don't do that, because you know it's like it's big phone companies and it's big banks. Oh, people don't do that. I'm like, well, they do, but not legally.
Facebook, how do you think Facebook gets all their money?
Yeah,
they sell your data.
Yep.
Ad companies.
Just I'll give it to you this way: if you've ever been, I know it's happened to me and you. We were sitting around talking about computers before I built my new one. We were sitting around talking about it, and obviously with your setup, you've got your mic and everything else.
Yeah. It's scary. I've got a story to tell after you've done this.
Okay, yeah. We scrolled through. You scrolled through your Facebook feed, and then I think within like less than a minute, you found an ad for PC Specialist or something like that. Oh, build your dream PC today. Things like that, and I'm like, either that was extremely coincidental, or that ad was put there on purpose.
Yeah.
But
very creepy. But
yeah,
there's a video a couple months ago or last year at some point where this guy did a test with that. He just had one Chrome tab open and it was google.com or google.co.uk. Just the front page of Google, you know, everyone knows it, the search bar, the Google logo. And he's talking into his mic. And all he was saying for about a minute or two was just, I need to get some dog toys for my dog. You know? Let me go and buy some dog toys. Just over and over again. Like different, like, you know, keywords that it's listening out for. And he turns off his ad block. He goes on websites like Daily Mail, like just news ones, which have so many adverts, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, they do, yeah.
And then there they were. Amazon, like, dog food, dog, like, toys, accessories, pet, like, playthings. It's like, that's terrifying. And the fact that it happened just within a minute or two it's scary.
Yeah. Very scary.
And I think there was another article where Facebook revealed how much your data is worth to them. $2.50. That's what you're worth. That's what you're worth to a company. That's it.
Per person.
You know? Yeah. So when you think like all these precious memories of your Facebook account, you've got all these like amazing pictures. Facebook doesn't care. You're only worth about enough to buy bread, maybe, for the day.
Yeah. Like a hot meal. You're worth a hot meal.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, so all your, you know, if you've got special photos on there that aren't, and it's like you put it on Facebook, but you removed it from your phone or another device. If anything happened, well, that's it. Like I've
still there somewhere.
Again, I've known people that have lost Facebook accounts and all the photos on it, and they haven't been recovered, and Facebook have done nothing. And it's not just like Facebook. It's been like I've known it with Twitter. I've known it with, you know, other social medias and things like that, like Instagram as well, isn't it? But that's owned by Facebook. So, but
yeah, now they just buy everything, man. Scary.
But it's just how business goes.
You'll find a lot of things where they've got parent companies, and it's insane how much of the companies are controlled by like these massive ones. Like there's Tencent in China, right? You're like, who are Tencent? I've never heard of them before. They own a lot of stuff in China and even overseas. Like Riot Games made League. You know Riot Games, right?
Yeah.
Owned by Tencent. Yeah, they own them. Every single mobile game that you see on the marketplace is owned probably by a Chinese company.
Yeah.
Like you see all these games, you're like, oh, that's a ripoff of another mobile game. All those mobile games are owned by the same company.
Yeah.
That's why they're so blatant ripoffs, because they can do it.
I believe I saw an article.
It's crazy
online, and it said there's about 10 companies in the world, but they own everything.
Yeah, it's like
it's just like 10, and that's it. And they own everything.
You've heard of the name Barnes and Noble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do they sell? They don't sell anything. They own everything.
Yeah.
And that's the terrifying thing.
Yeah. It's big business that we're not qualified to talk about. So this
No,
video is going to get taken down, boys.
Yeah, comprehend stuff like that. Is that a knock at my door? I'm gonna go find out who that is. Hello, Bill Gates.
Oh, the helicopter's showing up outside. Oh dear. Right. We're gonna end this podcast now with a lighter note. Unfortunately, if you are just listening to this will be on SoundCloud and maybe somewhere else.
As much stuff as we can get it on.
Yep. Wherever it goes, it'll be free to download. You do not have to pay for it. And the links for wherever unless we get bought by Tencent, it will be everywhere for free. So yeah, we'll have it everywhere. You can download it, listen to it, and like Spotify, we'll try and get it on there. And as I said, SoundCloud, you can download it for free, keep it, it's yours. But we're gonna end this video. If you're watching on YouTube, then you can see this. We're gonna play a funny video to lighten the mood, and I think this is going to be our... We're trying to work out the structure. We're trying to work out how we interact with each other, how we talk.
But yeah, guys, if you have any constructive criticisms, please feel free to put it in the chat below us on YouTube. I don't know how SoundCloud works. I'm not as experienced, but I presume there's a way to talk to people.
Yeah, there's a comment section there, yeah.
Yeah, discuss our social medias. They'll be linked below in the description as well.
They will.
Anything you want to say. Positive, negative. We appreciate all of it.
Yep. Because this was kind of a little bit of my brainchild almost, but I feel me and you, well, we get along very well. We're best friends, but like,
I'd say so, yeah.
I felt I wouldn't be able to do this on my own, and I really wanted to do it with someone who I felt like we could have a future in it, and it could be.
It's a lot easier to bounce stuff off.
Yeah, and it could be an investment for us, and it can also lead to other stuff, and it will help with just our skill set as well with editing and making videos, recording and stuff like that, and audio and everything. So yeah. But yeah,
best time to do an idea is now.
I'm going to cut it short because I'm getting boring now. But yes, any criticisms, any comments, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, please do let us know. You will see our social medias on the screen in just a second. They'll be in the description anyway. But we're just going to end it off with this video.
My name is Fuck Long, and today we're talking about the self-defense. Some people out there want to take all your money, kick your duck, do the booty infiltrate. Some people say you pee your pants, do the throw up, and you make them not horny anymore, and they go away. But I don't want the foot long inside the foot long. Some people use the pepper spray. At the Firepower United, we had a new self-defense tool for you to carry every single day. Legal all 50 states, legal all country. When you do the blowing, everybody around you know you about to get the contact rear, and they come to help you make the bad guy very scared. I show you how we do. Let go my egg roll!
Oh my god.
That's how you stop the booty infiltrate.
Oh my god.
So you stop the booty infiltrate.
That's always fun. I feel like that's good. I think we should keep that little segment where we just grab a funny video and then
something light at the end,
just lighten the mood up at the end. God. Man, oh man.
Oh man.
It is what it is. It be what it be.
But yeah, that's gonna be very awkward for people without the video present there.
Yeah, you're just gonna hear it, unfortunately.
Again, link in the description if you want the reference.
If you want the video, it'll be down there. So there you go.
Yeah.
Right, guys.
If you're watching in 8 years' time and the user has removed their YouTube video that we've referenced, apologies. There's nothing really we can do about that.
We can't do that.
So yeah, just
know it's a funny video. You'll always be able to hear the audio because it will be in here. So.
That is true. Yeah, as long as this podcast lasts.
I hope so.
I hope so indeed, my good man.
Sounds good. All right then, we're going to end it now. So thank you very much if you watched or listened and enjoyed. And yeah, we're going to try and keep it up and try and keep more on hot topics coming. We'll try and talk more, get more into maybe some gossipy stuff that people, are more interested about. Not, we'll see what formula works if you want to talk about more tech or we want to go more gaming or we want to go more, gossip.
Yeah, we'll see. It's like a little bit of everything, I'd say.
Yeah, we'll try.
It's a little smidge of...
This one's been very like tech and gaming.
Very tech and gaming related, but that makes sense. E3 was just a few days ago. So,
yes, exactly.
Yeah, it just depends. Gaming won't be relevant every day of the year,
No,
luckily.
exactly.
So we'll always have stuff. Also, when can we expect next episode, Danny boy? What's the schedule
Oh.
going to be?
Hold on. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Gonna throw that one right at the end.
Wow, throwing it at me, eh? Hardball coming in.
For a wrench
Oh
right
man.
at
Well, oh man. I don't even know. I'll tell you what. We'll try and get one out every 2 weeks. How about that? Every 2 weeks.
I think I'm happy with 2 weeks. I'd say if we do it once every week, we could burn ourselves out. And
Yeah,
I think for
that's
now,
what. Yeah, that's
2
what I
weeks.
think. If you
I
do
that's
too
fine,
much,
that's
you'll
fine,
just get too much. So
yeah.
I think once every 2 weeks, then it's we only have to record twice, and then then we
We
have
want to rush.
no, we don't want to rush it, and then we have plenty of time to edit and get it right.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, I eventually do want to go live, but then we're gonna have to have that's gonna be a whole different setup. We'll be together like in the same room, and big hopeful plans for the future. But
Dream big, boys.
dream big, and don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do anything, because you can do anything if you just put your mind to it and grind it out.
Exactly.
Which is why we're sitting here alone doing this.
Oh, yeah.
So, but because we wanted to. So,
because we wanted to.
there you go. We're doing it. We're out here doing it, boys. All right. Carl, you got anything left to say?
Come back again next time, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate it, yeah.
If you subscribe, hit the like button and follow us or whatever else, you'll know when the next one's coming.
In the words of Troy and Gabriella, this is the start of something new.
It is indeed. And hopefully the start of something great as well. So you never know.
I hope so indeed, my good man.
Righty. All right.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Have a
thank
good
you very
evening,
much.
morning, / whatever time it is.
Hell yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah. See you later.